So you and I will have to determine what our own leadership philosophy is going to what? Is going to be. Whether you want to use, like I said, it's important that you truly, there's a workbook that we're going to give you today that is in your front, and we're going to look at that. It's going to help you to be able to create your own leadership statement, and you're going to personalize it, because this is not me writing for you. This is you telling yourself, this is the kind of leader I want to be. This is how I want to be perceived. No, see, I'm going to say, you're going to see it here, but sometimes leadership is not about you being nice. Leadership is also about you living out your principles, even when it's not convenient for those around you. Let's go, next slide. So we cannot solve our problem with what? The same mindset that created it. So I intentionally put up this slide because if the theories, the past theories that have been in existence for years, has created a lot of problems. We cannot solve our current today leadership problem using the same leadership model that has been in existence for years. So we have to what? Evolve. Next slide. So there are some questions that you will need to ask yourself in order for you to arrive at that point where you can have your own leadership philosophy. And we're going to run through the questions very fast. So the first question is, can we read together? 1, 2, go. I cannot hear you. What kind of a person do I want to be? Now, this is you asking yourself a question. I've always been saying this. I know how I want to die. And God will honor me that I want to die smiling and everybody crying. Because when I was born, I was crying and everybody what? Smiling. So I want to die smiling. And then everybody will be crying. And the reason that we cry is because they're going to miss me so much. And the reason I will be smiling is because it is finished. Because I have done my part, what I consider to be my assignment, and therefore I'm going home smiling. So what kind of a person do you want to be? That question should be able to trigger something within you. Next slide. How do I want to be perceived as a leader? Now, this perception is critical, and sometimes people will get it wrong about you. Don't worry. Especially when it has to do with your personality. Now, I'm using myself as an example, right? And because I'm a choleric person, and sometimes the things choleric people do, they can be perceived as arrogant, rude, and all of that. But we are loving, emotional people. We just like to break wall and get things done. Right? But remember I said, there's a place of nurture and there's a place of nature. So what kind of a leader do you want to be? That should trigger something deep within you that is different, that you cannot find anywhere else. It's not something you will read in a book. It's not even something that after this training you just go and copy my own. Don't copy my own. You have to generate your own. What kind of a leader do you want to be? How do you want to be perceived as a leader? Because perception is people's reality about you. Reception, and the truth is you have no control about how people will perceive you. But let me show you what you have control over. You have control over reception. Reception is what you have control over. That's what is coming out from you to other people. Perception is people's reality about you. Now, if you have to pay attention, and that's one thing that I'm still trying, trying to be mindful about the reception. Because I've had sometimes, people might think that, I'm like me, maybe coming off in a negative way to them, but deep down within me, I'm not noticing them. I don't even understand. I don't even know. There's no problem. But to them, maybe the way I said something, or maybe the way I did something. But it's important that as a leader, you always take feedback. Even when, and the essence of feedback is not for you to hear nice words. If you're not ready for the raw truth, don't seek feedback. But you should, because feedback is important for you to know how you're coming across other people. Next question. So that question number 2 helps you, to take stock of what you currently do in order to understand why you do them. Next slide. How do I currently lead my team in my organization? Next slide. So this will help you to uncover some additional principles that you may find important. The best place to lead from is where you are, not just where you are aiming to. Because remember, with who you are and what you do at where you are now, it's automatically, we can predict what you are going to do when you become a governor. We can predict what you're going to do if you are that powerful. If you are the kind of person that you have money and you use money to intimidate people, and you do that now even in your office, imagine, we can predict what this person is going to do if peradventure this person gets to that place of power. Next slide.